North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is a nation that has long captivated the world's curiosity. In this video, I will provide a more in-depth and captivating exploration of North Korea, from various angles of course, including its geographical location, history, government, society, culture, landmarks, symbols, and famous aspects about them. First, let's begin with geographical location. First of all, North Korea is located on the Korean Peninsula, connected to China's Liaoning and Jilin provinces, sandwiched between the Korea Bay and East Sea, but the Japanese call it the Sea of Japan. Keep in mind, there is also an incredibly short 17-kilometer long border with Russia, at the tri-point with China. Along the border with Russia lies the Friendship Bridge, and only North Koreans and Russians are allowed to take it. The same deal exists with China, in which there are three main border crossings: the Sino-Korean Friendship Bridge, the Jian-Yalu River Railway, and the New Yalu River Bridge. Each of these bridges, though, are guarded and will only let in certain government-approved arrivals that have no set schedule. The country is divided into three types of administrative divisions: the nine provinces, the special city of Ransom, as well as the capital, Pyongyang, which also acts in its own entity. Pyongyang only has the international airport, Pyongyang-Sunan International Airport, whereas the second largest city, Hamhung, and the third largest, Chongqing. Both on the East Coast also have respectively the next largest domestic airports. Let's talk about elephant in the room, shall we? The border with South Korea. This 250 kilometers long border, known as the DMZ, or Demilitarized Zone, also sometimes called the 38th parallel, which serves as a buffer zone between the two nations, North and South Korea. Let's talk about its historical context. The history of North Korea is deeply rooted in the Korean Peninsula's stubborn past. The division between North Korea and South Korea was a direct outcome of the Korean War between 1950 until 1953, which concluded with an armistice but not a formal peace treaty. This unresolved conflict continues to cast a long shadow over the region, profoundly impacting North Korea's modern political and societal landscape. Speaking of politics, the government and leadership of North Korea is characterized by its unique system known as the Juche, an ideology of self-reliance. The nation is under the leadership of the ruling Kim family, with Kim Jong-un serving as its current leader. The government exercises rigid control over all aspects of life, from politics to culture, and establishing North Korea as one of the world's most secluded and authoritarian nations. The society and daily life in North Korea is highly regimented, with the government exerting strict control over its citizens. The majority of the population adheres to the Juche ideology, and there is limited access to external information. This isolation has given rise to a distinct North Korean way of life, marked by a collective agriculture and industry and a strong emphasis on the military zone. North Korea, as we will soon find out, has a unique layout based heavily over politics. Here, you will find symbolism and imagery that relates to the government everywhere, even in the middle of a remote farm villages. Every school and office building is required to have portraits of the late of Kim Jong-il and Kim Il-sung. And in Pyongyang, whether not driving, they usually take the amazingly embellished underground metro system. Most foreigners that visit rarely to see anything outside of Pyongyang. If you cordial with the government, you might be allowed to visit Chongjin or the beaches of Wonsan, or the industrial city of Hamhung. One of the most iconic landmarks in North Korea is the Ryugyong Hotel. The Ryugyong Hotel is a colossal structure stands tall as a symbol of North Korea's ambition. It's often referred to as the Hotel of Doom due to its tumultuous history and uncertain future. The story of the Ryugyong Hotel begins in the late 1980s, during the rule of Kim Il-sung, North Korea's founding father. Construction began with the intention of creating the world's tallest hotel. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union and the severe economic crisis in North Korea left the hotel unfinished and abandoned for many years to come, a looming reminder of an unrealized dream. But in recent years, the Ryugyong Hotel has seen a revival, with foreign investments and efforts to complete its construction. This architectural marvel is slowly coming back to life. Its towering three-sided pyramid design and sparkling glass exterior are truly a sight to behold. Speaking of which, I would argue if you really want a taste of deep, true non-commercialized traditional Korean cuisine, then the North Koreans probably have it a little more locked down than South Korea. A traditional meal in North Korea will usually consist of multiple banchan, which are small seasoned side dishes placed in small dishes and bowls alongside your main plate. Typical dishes like bulgogi, kalbi, samgyeopsal, bachimge, bibimbap, or anything in between are made in restaurants, and sometimes in the most of the elite. In conclusion, North Korea presents a complex tapestry of geography, history, government, culture, and symbols that collectively create a distinct, captivating portrait. Despite its isolation, North Korea remains an enigmatic nation with a multifaceted identity that continues to intrigue the world.